Utilities Commission. With me this morning are Commissioners Duffley, Hughes, McKissick, Kimwright, Brawley, and Tucker. In compliance with State Government Ethics Act, I remind members of the Commission of our duty to avoid conflicts of interest and inquire at this time as to whether any member has a known conflict with respect to the matters coming before us this morning. The record will reflect that no conflicts have been identified, so we'll proceed with Public Staff Item 1.
Good morning, Chair Mitchell, Commissioners. I'm Jordan Nader with the Public Staff Energy Division. Item 1 is a request by Public Service Company of North Carolina Incorporated for approval to adjust rates under Rider F of its service regulations effective May 1st, 2024. The Public Staff has reviewed the application and information provided by PSNC and recommends the Commission approve the application as adjusted by the Public Staff and agreed to by PSNC.
Move approval of staff recommendation.
All right, it's been moved and seconded that the item be approved as recommended by the Public Staff. Are there questions or discussion? All right, Commissioner Tucker.
We do everything by the book here. Tell me what generally complied means.
Oh, let's see here.
I'm sorry to put you on the spot.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you for the question.
PSNC generally complied with the filing requirements.
Yeah, so a component of in reference to the annual EE filing requirements, you're referencing the comment. So it is a more than 36-month pilot period that we're going through here. So the program was approved in the previous rate case. And so we're kind of going through and just taking checks along the way, but we'll ultimately review the entire program as a whole set at the conclusion of the program in June 2025. So generally complied means, yep, we've checked all the boxes. Everything looks like it's in order. And we'll go back through and review all the months that are involved in review next year when the pilot period concludes. Does that?
Yeah, kind of. I'm just that's just unusual to see that word there. So you wait until the pilot program is over for 3 years. And then you generally go back and review all of it, not during the program, so there'll be corrections made.
So we make checks along the way, right? So we conduct an investigation. When they made the filing in early January, we conducted an investigation throughout that period. We had conversations with the company. We had conversations with their EM&V contractor. We made suggestions to the company about adjustments along the way to potentially result in better outcomes before the conclusion of the pilot, but ultimately the entirety of the program was approved by the Commission in the last rate case. And so we're trying to allow the entire pilot period to kind of carry through before we judge it as a whole, because this is a new product offering from the company.
Okay.
To have a separate rider to support their EE mechanism.
Well, the reason I'm asking is just for my edification. In my former life, we would have pilot programs and then we'd never hear about them again or whether they work successfully or not. And I am hearing you say there's more rigid accountability with the utilities and the pilot programs that they enter into by public staff versus just letting the money move forward and let it take place and then never hear much else about it. And and next thing you know, there's a new pilot program for something remotely similar and you do that all over again. So I'm just trying to understand, how much emphasis you put on it during and after, and, who's called to accountability if the pilot program doesn't really work as, it was projected to.
And I appreciate that. And I think, if you look at our comments, we've highlighted some areas where they think there can be improvement and growth. And certainly when we conclude when the company concludes the program next year, we will evaluate all the programs, all the measures, the portfolio as a whole, to determine what was effective, what wasn't effective, what needs to be continued, and what should be discontinued ultimately.
Okay. Thanks, sir.
Yep.
All right, any additional questions? All right, just as a reminder, we've got a motion that's been seconded to approve the program as the Public Staff has recommended. All in favor indicate with an aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? All right, that motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Nader. All right, next up, Public Staff Item 2.
Good morning. My name is Andrew Puglisi with the Public Staff's Energy Division. Item 2 is docket G40 sub 177, an application filed by Frontier Natural Gas on April 15th, 2024, seeking authority to decrease its sales rate by $1.95 per decatherm. The decrease is a result of a change of its benchmark city gate delivered cost of gas from the current rate of $5.95 per decatherm to $4 per decatherm. The Public Staff has reviewed the application and recommends approval as filed. Thank you.
Move approval of staff recommendation.
It's been moved and seconded that the item be approved as recommended by the public staff. Are there questions, discussion on the motion? All right, hearing none, all in favor indicate with an eye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? That motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Puglisi. All right, Commission has our minutes from the April 22nd staff conference for approval. All right, it's been moved and seconded that our minutes be approved. Any questions or discussion there? All right, all in favor indicate with an eye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? And the motion carries. Our minutes are approved. All right, any additional business for the commission this morning? All right, hearing none, we'll be adjourned. Thank you very much, everybody. Let's go off the record, please.